You like comic books?
Comic books.
Comic books.
Comic books.
Comic books.
I'm quite keen on comic books.
Movies.
Movies.
Stupid TV shows. TV shows.
But what are some of your favorite TV shows?
Can be enjoyed as video games, as TV shows, books, movies, the entire world. Wholeheartedly embrace the apocalypse. Let's start the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday edition of the Next Issue podcast, where we talk about mainly comic books, as you could probably tell from that intro, but also some movies and TV that we've been watching. Before we get started, in case you missed it, yesterday we had a really cool... So we don't have a lot of news today, mainly because yesterday on our live stream, we had all the news dump, right? We talked about the Supergirl teaser. We talked a little bit about the Green Lantern or the Lanterns show. We talked about the Street Fighter poster reveal. So go check that out. Before we get into all the comic book stuff, I want to ask now, Jeff, we had a pretty busy day yesterday. So if you haven't seen this, I guess it's okay. But anything on the Last Time Is Now John Cena retirement match that you saw?
I did watch it. I enjoyed it. While not shocked by the ending, I was like, oh, you should go out on your back. Like, that's a wrestling tradition. You go out, you put the young guy over.
Yeah, but does Gunther have to be right behind you when you're
yeah. I think I would have. I feel like the way he did it, like, that was his call. Like, he's like, I'm sure he called that match from beginning to end, kind of thing. And he, the way the camera framed on him, where you could kind of see him like, okay, I can't do this. He smiles and then he taps. I was like, okay, so this is all like this. He had this all in his head, the way he did it. So for me, it was fine. I feel like the crowd, the live audience probably was just like, he got the reaction he wanted. I think it was fine. I think it was great.
They're going through the stages of grief immediately right after the
exactly.
So I think they started going through the stages of grief even before, and obviously nobody passed or anything, but I mean, we are losing John Cena the wrestler, right? So that
do you think we're actually losing John Cena the wrestler?
I think so. I feel like he's been pretty adamant. And John Cena, from what I've seen on Total Divas, when he says something, that's what's happening. Like, he's not somebody that mucks around. And even though I've seen a lot of his interviews in the past week, he just tells you things like how they are, whether you like it or not. Even when you're trying to like give him a little bit of praise, because I think the last one I saw was he was on the Pat McAfee show like the day before yesterday. And even when one of the guys was trying to like praise him about something, he's like, no, that's not what it is. Like, this is, I'm going to tell you exactly how it is or whatever. So even when he could come out looking better, he doesn't do that for good or bad. And he's just very straightforward. So at least that's the way it seems. Or he's got I think he's got a very polished persona, both on and off the ring. So I think, and I just don't think he wants to do this anymore. Like, I know he probably loves wrestling, but he can still show up. He's still an ambassador. He signed whatever ambassador deal, whatever. Can you imagine getting all the attention that you get from wrestling without any of the taking the bumps and all that? So
yeah. I just see a world where he's not coming back full time ever, or even part time. I think, but
he's not wrestling anymore. That's what he said. That was his last wrestling match.
I could see a point where he does like maybe a bit here or there. Maybe, maybe like even 5 years from now, like
he'll show up like, Stone Cold that shows up and he stuns a few people and drops some beer on them and whatever. And I can see John Cena doing that, or like putting someone over. I think that was my favorite part of the show. There were some banger matches like all throughout the night. The one I was not very happy with was the end of the Obafemi Cody match, because I know they're trying to protect them both,
there was a quick second there where I was like, are they about to go into business for them? Because you knew that they were like the Drew McIntyre thing was gonna the run in, and so it causes a DQ or whatever because they didn't want to have an official win. And then the crowd kind of turned because they all realized what was happening. There was a quick moment where I was like, are they gonna start fighting again? Are they gonna
I thought that was gonna happen. Like they were gonna call the match to start again or something when they were kind of facing off in the ring. Oh, so that would be cool.
But yeah.
And then from
overall,
there, like, you know, like whatever, like maybe Obafemi could take a loss a little bit cleaner there because he just got attacked by, you know, and Cody's got the, you know, could do some shenanigans, or I was like, Cody gonna turn heel on Obafemi? I'll watch that too.
yeah.
Cody's like, I'm losing a step here. So
I did like I've only seen clips, but I did like the Bailey Soul, Veruca Salt, whatever her name is.
I hate that Bailey lost because Bailey and Becky are they're my two favorite female wrestlers, like just from the get-go. And I'm glad that Bailey can still come back and like change who she is, and it's taken a little bit to kind of get to this persona that she's now. So I do kind of hate that she lost, but I guess it makes sense. It worked out, I guess, for the best. And Sol Ruka is great. Like he's so athletic.
In a weird John Cena way, it feels like the whole night was about putting younger stars over, like really like pushing them forward. I had a fantastic. I think my biggest shock is that it was not on NBC. I didn't know that they were just showing it exclusively on Peacock because it's the Saturday night main event, which is supposed to be an NBC show.
Yeah.
I overheard people talking about it when I was at the comic sale. Some kids behind me were like, I'm gonna pirate it. There's no way I'm getting Peacock for one match or whatever. They're gonna figure out a way to pirate. And in my head, I was like, why just watch it on NBC? You don't even have to like go get Peacock. But NBC was showing like The Wall or something stupid. So
that is weird. That is weird. But I guess it gives them a flexibility. I guess you also don't know how long that could take. Like if they needed to take an extra moment or something, streaming allows that flexibility. Whereas on NBC, like they have to, because I think the last time there was a Saturday Night Main Event, like some of the Brock stuff got cut out at the end of the broadcast, if I remember correctly. But you know, so. Because they had that moment where everybody comes out at the end from the locker room. Triple H getting the booze.
He loved it though.
I do think it's funny. Time. I can't wait for the Unreal for the next one because you know this is going to be part of it, and I'm sure we're going to see that this was all John Cena's call. Like this is.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's no way this is not what he wanted to do on his way out. Yeah, also, the image of him taking off the Skechers is pretty funny because it's like normally, you know, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, like they're leaving like these big wrestling boots, but John Cena's just taking off a pair of Skechers you can just get at the outlet.
I like that somebody was yelling, "Take off the jorts!" You could hear in the crowd.
Yeah,
it did make me wonder because I did notice. I was like, oh, he took off like his Skechers. And Sol Veruca had on underneath her because she had fake boot pads or whatever that they strap on over the shoes.
Yeah.
And she had on Converse because I could tell by the bottom of her. I was like, oh, she's just wearing Converse sneakers.
Right.
Which makes me wonder if there is a preferred wrestling shoe among that would be if I ever interviewed a wrestler, I was like, what is your favorite wrestling? Like, what shoes do you wear? Because I've noticed a lot of people like wearing different shoes.
Like Roman Reigns and the Usos, they, you know, usually Nikes, some sort of Nikes or Jordans.
Yeah. I mean, it's rare you see wrestlers use wrestling boots anymore, you know?
Yeah, like unless it's like Gunther, like they have to like their gimmick. It's what the gimmick calls for. And so like Gunther, like his boots, like he wears those big blue boots that he had on yesterday, and then he's got the long socks underneath. Like those are pretty cool, but those are like classic wrestling. So yeah, I'm excited for Gunther. Like he's a monster. I would like.
Oh, this gave him because he did this. For me, he's top tier easily. Like easily top tier. He doesn't even need the belt. Like this is how he transcends needing the belt. To be a top tier guy. because he had the belt. He was dominating as the champion. Then they took it from him to was it Roman Reigns or Cody? I forget who ended up with it, but they
wasn't.
But then they turned him into like they turned him into like a new legend killer kind of sort of, where he like retired Goldberg and he kind of went up against all these like old people. But then they were like, but he can hold his own against every single one of these guys. And then now he gets to say he retired, John Cena.
Yep.
And so yeah, he's on another level as far as like he's up there.
Yeah. So John Cena, we see you. Thank you.
Yeah, good job. I did think that him walking up the thing with a kind of one last time, it's very sitcom indie. I wanted them to have like a little light switch next to the thing where he just like turned off the lights.
The lights kind of did dim as he was walking in the tunnel. So like you get the vibes for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that final.
You need to be in the truck producing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Come on, WWE. Jeff's available. I'm sure he'll.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll love to travel 50 nights a year.
Traveling.
So
yeah, exactly. That's my thing. Going to all the different climates of the country
in 1 week. Yeah.
In 1 week.
All right. We have other news as well in the comic book world. We went up through. I didn't want to go into this yesterday because we already had so much in that show. But Jeff, you want to tell us a little bit about the battle of the century, Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man?
Oh, you mean this thing right here that I have in a frame?
Yeah.
It's the actual comic book. I'm not taking it out of the frame, but
Jeff didn't get a college degree. They gave him one of those instead.
Yeah, exactly.
He was happy with that deal.
I took my college degree out of the frame, threw it away, and was like, and then used the frame for this thing. This is a classic night from 1976. This thing and I are roughly the same age. It's the first. Is this the first crossover event between Marvel and DC? I think it is. Superman, Spider-Man. They don't really fight each other. The interior story is Spider-Man as Peter Parker and Clark Kent, as they're both reporters for their various newspapers, get sent on assignment to the same thing. And then the two main villains are Lex Luthor and Doc Ock. There's a great scene in this where Dr. Octopus helps Lex Luthor escape prison, and Lex Luthor rides Dr. Octopus out of the prison. I think that is the funniest little bit there is. But eventually Superman and Spider-Man team up and defeat the villains. It's a huge, obviously treasury-sized comic. I do hope that they do at least something in treasury-sized with this.
I'm glad you bring that up. Because they are reprinting that specific thing you have, the Treasury edition. It's being reprinted in January of 2026 as to kick off the 50th anniversary of the first crossover, and then from there, so you can pick this up. This is what's on your screen. What Jeff has, they'll do a reprint of that. They're pretty good with the reprints. Normally, the only thing that changes is the price. So this is, how much does yours say in the corner? Here in the little bubble,
this was $2 initially.
Okay, well, this one is $20. So 50 years of inflation. But everything else looks pretty much the same. Let's see. I don't think is there any variants for this?
Should have just made it an extra. Like it says, what does it say? It's $19.99. Oh, that's beautiful. It should just be an extra, like straight up $20.
They let Alex Ross do one as well.
That one I might need to own.
And then I think there's going to be a foil one because this just looks like the same as the first one. And then a blank one. So this one, the blank one's $22.99. Oh, this the foil one's $24.99. And the Alex Ross, if you can find it, if it's a regular cover, it's $19.99. So there you go. Wow. But
are they doing? So they're Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go. You tell me, because I'm.
You were about to get into it because they've announced.
That's right. They're doing in March 25th of 2026. You can get the DC Superman Spider-Man #1, which will retail at $7.99 for the main cover and $8.99 for the other variants, not incling any ratio variants or anything like that. So
And these are not treasury size. These are regular.
These are
comic
not
book size.
treasury size. No, you can also kind of tell because if I share this one again, you can see how it's like it's a little more square, or I guess more square. And then if I go back to this one's like a normal comic book size. So you want to know what's inside of this?
That they would do one that's a treasury size. That would be cool. Like that, I like they should do. Like keep up the thing.
Or those big old design ones that they've been doing, like the giant size ones.
Yeah. Something that's like, because the cool thing about this is that it stands out, that it's so big compared to like all the others,
And you can use it as a weapon if it's end of a frame. Speaking of
although
wrestling.
if they're already $20, I guess that would be the thing, or they'd be like, we can't have at $20 for the reprints or for the facsimiles of this one. I'm sure these would be like $80 for one treasury comic.
I wonder if it's cheaper just to go look for the one that you have.
I feel like they are it's probably double, because I feel like I picked mine up for like 50 or 60 or something.
Okay.
Actually, I think Jack over at Boomerang found it for me. He was at a convention and he knew I was like, this is one of the things I was looking for at the time. And he's like, hey, I found this. And he talked the guy down from whatever he was selling it at.
Okay.
So I think it was like around $50, something like that. That's what I got.
According to the internet and a quick Google search, they range from $75 to $3,000 depending on the condition and the grading and all that.
Yeah.
I guess
this is
$22
yellowed, and you can tell this is yellowed and beat up. And I like reader copies.
Yeah.
Give me a good reader.
All right, let me tell you what's going to be inside of this though, because now we have a few teams, and then we'll look at all the different covers that they've announced at least. So we have there's going to be more stories. So this is $7.99. So there's going to be a few stories, including Tom King and Jim Lee doing a Lois Lane and Mary Jane Watson story. Also, awesome. Matt Fraction and Steve Lieber, they're going to revisit Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen and Carnage. Because that's
nuts, and I love it.
Classic team up. Sean Murphy's gonna.
They both have red hair. If it's Cassidy, if it's Cassidy Cletus, they're both gingers.
The Carnage symbiote just sees Jimmy from behind, and he thinks it's Cletus.
He just thinks it's Cassidy.
Yeah.
God, I hope that's the story.
Oh God, did I solve it? Stay tuned. Bookmark this. We'll revisit it in March. Sean Murphy takes us to the future with Superboy and the Legion and Spider-Man 2099. Damn, I love everything about that sentence. I think so.
That thinking about Sean Murphy drawing Spider-Man 2099 costume is awesome.
Yeah. We also have Gail Simone with Belen Ortega for a look at what happens when Power Girl meets the Punisher.
Love it.
I think the Punisher falls in love. It's a love story, actually.
It's got to be.
She reminds him of his wife.
Who also had a boob window.
Yep. Christopher Priest and Daniel St. Pierre shows a time when Superboy Prime decided to visit Spider-Man after he got the black suit. Now, as you know, Superboy Prime is from our world. He reads comics, so he would be aware of when Spider-Man got the black suit. And Jeff's favorite team from the Cheshire and Cheetah, Rob the Justice League, are teaming up again, Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott, with an exciting race between the Daily Planet and the Daily Bugle.
That sounds
whatever
awesome.
That means. Hard journalism. It's going to be the, was it Frontline? That was the comic. That was
Frontline.
Yeah. Frontline versus whatever. I don't think, has DC had a Frontline like comic book where it's like maybe Gotham Central is the closest thing, but because it's not really about the superheroes, it's more about the working day to day.
But Gotham Central is probably the closest you get. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I mean, they had that one Lois Lane series, but
And we finally get the question, the answer to the age-old question: who to win in a fight, Pa Kent or Uncle Ben? This is a story by Jeff Lemire and Rafa Sandoval. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. It's not really about them fighting, but that's a really fun way to put that. And then we have all these covers where we're gonna take a look. They revealed, I don't think there's 24 covers total, but they revealed a bunch of covers. Some of these are probably repeats because of the foil and whatever.
Yeah.
So we have Jorge Jimenez.
Great cover.
I guess I'll tell you when I get there. When we get there. Well, somebody's doing one. Adam Hughes is doing one, but he hasn't turned it in yet. Come on, Adam. A lot of these have not been turned in yet. Clayton Crane, of course, doing another one as well. I don't know if I've ever seen Crane do Superman. He does a lot of Spider-Man though.
Well, yeah, go ahead. Because I was going to say later on you're going to hit a Jim Lee, and I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen Jim Lee do Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. Daniel St. Pierre with the one. I think this is the story that he's drawing. Oh no, this is not. Sean Murphy's doing these guys.
Yeah,
which is weird. Why wouldn't you just have Sean? Whatever. Dave Johnson with Red Sun, Superman, and Spider Hulk. This one's pretty cool. David Nakayama with the what's the story called? Kingdom Come, Superman. Kind of. Oh, the older Superman. I don't know if he's from Kingdom Come.
And then just regular Spider-Man.
Yeah. He could be older. This one's pretty cool. David Talaski. Power Girl. The cleavage variant.
This is why Adam Hughes is late turning in his, because he's like, somebody stole this one from me.
I bet he's doing a Catwoman. So, oh no, wait, Catwoman wouldn't work in this world, in this instant. Maybe a Supergirl. Who's that? Doc Shaner's doing one. He hasn't turned it in. Gabriel Delotto. I kind of want to see this story. Like, what's going on here? Superman looks pissed. J. Scott Campbell, of course, doing one. Jeff Spokes. Jim Lee. There you go.
Have you ever seen Jim Lee do Spider-Man before? I was racking my brain. I was like, he's not in any of the X-Men that he did. He's not in any of.
No, you're right. I don't think so. I don't think I had ever seen Jim Lee do a Spider-Man like on an official thing. I'm sure maybe he's drawn him for something.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's drawn him in conventions and whatnot. But I don't think I've ever seen a Jim Lee Spider-Man before.
Yeah, which I like it. I like his finger. His fingers are gnarly. Let's see, who's this? Jorge Jimenez is doing another one, I guess. Joshua Middleton is doing another. Who is this? Mike. Oh, I can't see this little thing. Oh, Mikhail Janin. Though, yeah, there you go. That one's pretty cool. Were these the villains on the first original story?
Oh, it's Lex and Doc Ock.
Doc Ock. Okay. Okay. Mitch Garage is doing one. God, my wallet.
That'd be cool.
My wallet. Rafa Sandoval. Rafael Albuquerque. So big shout out to Rafael Albuquerque, because I saw him post this on Instagram and I was like, what's going on? So then I started digging and then I made a little video.
You're like, wait, those two
Scott
don't live in the
Copeland?
same city.
Yeah, Scott Koblish here. Art Germ, of course.
That's a fun one.
Which I saw somebody say like, is this AI? And I was like, oh my God. And Tom Taylor responded, because I saw it on Tom Taylor's story. And Tom Taylor was like, no, just that AI has stolen so much from Art Germ that it now feels like that could be it's like the other way around, right? The AI model steals so much art from Art Germ because he's so prolific that people are now wondering, like, wait, hold on a second. I hate it. I hate everything about that.
I don't know if anything on this screams AI to me, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just you know how AI does like the shininess and like the hair, like where it doesn't. But I mean, that's Art Germ style. That's what he does. Like if you look at the pencils, it would definitely not look like AI. But once it's all colored in or whatever, it's almost that it's so perfect, almost that it's like, oh, only a machine could have done that, right? which is stupid. Okay,
Yeah, it's ruining everything.
I know. And then we're back. So that was all the covers. So I'm excited. Also a little fearful for my wallet in March.
There aren't as many covers so far here as there was like the Deadpool Batman stuff. Is this the same thing that they're doing? Is there like a DC version and a Marvel version, or is this just a one and done?
No, I think this is just the one. It's just a one thing for both of them, since it's kind of in celebration of that 50 years. So
Yeah. Which
yeah,
makes me
'cause
wonder if they're going to do that for every single. Because the next one I think is the Hulk Batman that comes out. I think that came out after this one. There was a Hulk Batman Treasury. There's 2 Spider-Man Superman Treasuries. There's a Hulk Batman, and then I think there's another one somewhere out there. There's more than one treasury.
You know what? I think a good idea for a show in 2026 would be just to revisit some of these crossovers.
Yeah,
We could tie it in. So I'm gonna, if you can, put a list together of the things we need to look for, since you're kind of like our archivist.
Dust off the amalgams.
That's right. Yeah, before, I guess, the ones that are kind of like this, and then I think amalgam is its own little thing that we have to tackle on its own as well. Which they're also reprinting a bunch of those. I think I saw when we went to Comic Book Club. I grabbed one of those. The Spider Boy.
Spider Boy.
Yeah.
There may be an amalgam comic that I picked up over the weekend. We'll see.
Oh. Stay tuned.
Throw it out with my diploma.
Let's go through real quick through our watch list, because I think we got a lot of comics to talk about. Not so much that we read a lot of comics, but Jeff and I just went ahead and bought a lot of comics this weekend.
This is true.
We could buy more today if we really felt like.
I mean, they're out there to be bought. They're definitely out there
to be
bought. I need to grab a prop, which is like 3 feet away from me. I'll be right back.
Go for it. All right. While Jeff gets back, I know he can hear me because he's got the wireless headphones. I'm going to talk about some of the movies that I watched. But he probably won't have anything to say about this one because I went to watch Jujutsu Kaisen Execution at the theater. You guys know I love watching anime. Yeah, Jeff knows because if you missed our show yesterday, we did the box office game. And Jeff correctly guessed that this was one of the movies on that list. So I went to watch it. I like it. My only, not really complain, but I mean, it's something I was kind of expecting. This one is really half a new movie only. The first 45 minutes of it are a recap of the incident, the Shibuya incident arc. So if you're behind on that. So also on the next 2 movies are on Netflix that I watch. Jay Kelly. This is the new George Clooney, Adam Sandler, Laura Dern movie.
Which is written by Emily Mortimer. That I didn't know that. Emily Mortimer is an actress. She was in the Newsroom. I don't know if you ever watched Newsroom.
I have. Oh, Emily Mortimer is also in this. She plays like the makeup artist for Jay Kelly or something like that.
Yeah, she co-wrote this movie.
Yep. This is a Noah Baumbach.
It's Noah Baumbach.
Who I believe is or was married to Greta Gerwig, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And I think that's where that Marriage Story movie comes from, with Kylo Ren and the Black Widow. Yeah, you're right. Emily Mortimer and Noah Baumbach co-wrote this. Interesting. It's really good. I mean, it's about Jay Kelly's a famous actor that kind of has to reevaluate his life as he's kind of getting close to retirement. Interestingly mirroring what's going on with John Cena, almost in a way. But this is more Hollywood. So
the John Cena story.
That's right. And then the other movie that I highly, highly recommend on Netflix, Wake Up, Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. If you like the other Knives Out movies, I think this one might be the best. I don't know. Maybe it may be recency bias as well. But yeah, I love Benoit Blanc. Like, what a fun character.
Yeah, these are great movies. Yeah, I love the Benoit Blanc movies.
So if you have Netflix, I recommend you check this out. Everyone's great. I love this movie. It might end up being one of my favorite movies of the year. I don't know. I think I have a few of them at a 4.5 stars on Letterboxd, so I'm not sure. I gotta whittle down that list. So yeah, I'll pause there, give you some time to talk about some of your stuff.
I went to my storage unit at the beginning of this week. I have a lot of PTO I need to take off from work because we're at the end of the year. And anyway, so I went to my storage unit. I had to take some comics back in there, file them into my big collection. And then I was
picture for those watching. Picture the end of the Ark of the Covenant, like the Indiana Jones
100%. Yeah. Just a long crane shot of just boxes and boxes of long boxes. It's 23 long boxes in my storage unit is how many comics I have.
Oh, wow. The big ones, right? The 150, 200
long boxes.
Wow.
It's so many. And they're heavy, and I was very sore the next day. But one of the things I also did was because we're trying to get off the streamers, we no longer have Disney Plus. I have again. I'm a collector, so I have tons of DVDs that have just been boxed up because most of the stuff you can find on streaming, but not everything. And two of the things that I picked up were my seasons 1 and 2 of Pushing Daisies. This show is awesome. This is Lee Pace, Kristen Chenoweth, Swoosie Kurtz, a whole bunch of just like Chi McBride, and just like a ton of cameos. It is directed and produced by Barry Sonnenfeld, who did the first 2 Men in Black. So it's kind of quirky. It's kind of got that Tim Burton vibey kindness to it. That's what Barry Sonnenfeld has. The premise of the show: Lee Pace plays a guy, Ned. He makes pies. That's his profession. He's a pie maker. But he has this power where if something dies in front of him, he can touch them and he can bring them back to life. If he brings them back to life for more than a minute, something else of equivalent stature has to die. Or he can touch them again, and then the dead person goes back to being dead, and they stay dead forever. So once he brings somebody back to life, he can no longer touch them again, or they will become dead again. The premise of the show is right off the first episode is he brings his old childhood long lost love back to life after she was murdered, and then he can't ever touch her again. So that's the kind of hook of the romantic thing of the book. But then him and he has a private detective friend and Chi McBride, they all solve mysteries. So it's very quirky, it's very funny. It's very musically, because Kristen Chenoweth is in it. There's got a lot of Broadway stars in it, so there's always these like little. It's not a musical at all, but it has it's a real musicality to the show.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic show. And I recently read, I don't know if it was a rumor or not, that they're trying to get everybody back together to do a 3rd season. Now that, we're in limbo, where this is chaos. This is the new West as far as TV shows go. You can get a popular TV show canceled, but you can also bring back a popular TV show at the drop of a hat. So, yeah, great show, fantastic show. I'm glad
I never watched it back in the day, but I remember people like it's on all. I used to watch a lot of lists of like TV shows, and like that one always came up as something that was kind of ahead of its time, and it kind of changed TV in different ways. So nice.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of the rich colorfulness of this TV show kind of helped Hannibal. I don't know if you ever watched Hannibal, the TV show on NBC. Like that kind of has that rich colorfulness, like the same thing that this show has. It's obviously a way different tone show, but I feel like they're sister companion shows.
There's a lot of themes crossover, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I also picked
up
both
of them make pies. I'm sure Hannibal makes pie, a good pie.
Yeah, Hannibal makes pies. Also, these This American Life. We were talking about podcasts a little bit yesterday. This American Life is a PBS podcast or an NPR podcast starring I can't even remember, Ira Glass, and they're just stories about people across America. These are really they had a show on, I think it was Showtime. I don't remember, for a little bit. Maybe it was HBO or something.
Yeah, I think so.
but these are great. These are great little snippet vignette stories. So
Nice.
that's what I pulled out of my storage unit.
All right. What have you watched though? Anything else you've seen? I only have one more
Yes.
thing. So
Oh, okay. Christmas. My Christmas watch for this week was Rick Steves' European Christmas Vacation, it's European Christmas, not vacation. Rick Steves is a PBS like travel guy, like he does a travel show. And he has this one Christmas special where he spends like Christmas in Europe, and he goes through all the Christmas traditions. And they're way more down to earth than our commercialized, cosmic, Americanized Christmas. Like these are the people that, you know, they go chop down their own tree and they do the candles, the actual real candles on the trees, which always freaks me out because I'm like, how are you not burning down your everything? But they figured out a way in Europe. But yeah, it's just such a cozy little thing where he just goes over all the European traditions. It's so nerdy and eggheady and whatnot. It's fantastic.
I
And the last,
think because they are real trees, they have to keep them in water. So
Yeah.
like the trees are like moist, so yeah, they wouldn't catch fire. Also, one of the things that I would love to go to Europe for, and I don't know that we have here as much, the Christmas markets that kind of pop
yes.
up. I think that'd be
Yeah, those look so cool. Like, and they're all like the little wooden shacks and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And they're,
I think Grapevine has something kind of like that like during the Christmas time. But it's still not the same. But I mean, yeah, I don't know that we have where you could just kind of like walk around and there's like food and entertainment. It's pretty much like a carnival but it's all Christmas, so it's pretty cool.
the last thing I really watched for this week was it's a TV show I did not know existed, called Good Cop, Bad Cop. I don't know if I've talked about it on the show before or not, but it's got it's like a CW show. And it is so the first season happened. I don't know if it's going to get a second season or not. It's got Clancy Brown. It plays a small time like police chief in a small Pacific Northwest town just outside of Seattle, and he has his two kids working for him, son and daughter. They're the head police detectives. It's a very charming, it's kind of in the same vein as like Psych or one of those USA Network kind of shows where everything's like it's kind of a funny comedy, a little bit of drama, quirky characters, but the main lead is the girl from Gossip Girl, one of the girls from Gossip Girls, who Leighton Meester is with the lead in the show, and she has bang, like she looks nothing like she used to look like when she was in, so that's Leighton Meester. I don't think she looks anything like she used to look like when she was in Gossip Girl, and it took me like 8 episodes to be like, oh my god, that's Leighton Meester. Like they have really like changed her look up.
I mean,
I want to say they've
bangs will do that. Have you ever seen
that.
Zoe Deschanel without bangs?
I don't
Can't
think
even
I
tell
have.
it's her.
So it's a very pleasant show. I like it. It's very good. I hope it gets a second season. I don't know if I'll ever see it again, but
nice. So which one's the good cop and which one's the bad cop?
They're both good cops. The bad they try to pretend to be good cop. The guy is like the weird kind of autistic, kind of like follows the rules and stuff like that, and she's the bit of the rule breaker kind of sort of. They kind of flip flop. Yeah.
And then the dad is too old for their shit.
The dad's too old for the shit, but he also had like there's like this underlying like mystery throughout the town.
Yeah.
So the dad is probably at the end, the cliffhanger at the end of the first episode is they're like, oh, our dad was involved in this like decades old murder, maybe like that they're trying to solve. So that was the hook for the season finale. So hopefully they get a second season. We can figure out what's happening. And it's always fun to see Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
Like you hear his voice a million times, and you know, especially if you're a nerd. But it's always fun to see him act.
Well, it looked like, based on that picture, it looked like it was also like through Amazon Prime or something. And they are usually pretty lenient when it comes to canceling shows. Like they don't just cancel everything right away. So maybe
Yeah,
you'll
it's on
get
Amazon now. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see.
All right. The last thing I'm gonna recommend. I think we talked a little bit about those actor on actor things that Vanity Fair, CNN. I don't know whoever does that. The one I really enjoyed. I like all of them, but the one I really enjoyed was the Brendan Fraser and The Rock. Because they have such history, right? And they start with the Scorpion King and how that kind of kick-started The Rock's career, because he had done some stuff prior to it, but it was more like The Rock appearing in things as opposed to like Dwayne Johnson, being an actor. And they talk about the bad CGI at the end and all that. So yeah, it's really nice that you can tell that they are kind of friends, and they both recently got the really nice moment at the festival where like they had their standing ovations for their respective movies, right? Brendan Fraser for The Whale a couple of years ago, and The Rock this year for the Smashing Machine. So yeah, it's really nice. You can you can tell that the Rock genuinely seems like he's very thankful to him, and Brendan Fraser just seems like he's the only way that this could have been better is if it was Brendan Fraser and Ki Hugh Kwan. Like, just get out.
Yeah, they need to be like a nice guys round table where it's just like Keanu Reeves, Brendan Fraser, Keon Quinn, like all of them, just like, and they just all sit around and compliment each other.
That needs to be our Justice League.
Yeah.
And then of course, they've announced that they're doing another movie, so like, I'm pretty excited for that.
I think that's great. Like, I would love to see Rachel Weisz out there again in the world.
Come back. Yeah. I do wanna watch the Brendan Fraser was promoting his Rent a Family movie.
That seems like it would make me cry for hours on end.
Yeah, so that's definitely something I'll probably end up watching at home. The same reason I'm not going out to the movies to watch Hamnet, because as much as I love, like Nicole Kidman said, to feel at the theaters, and it's a good place to feel the hurt. Like, I don't want to ugly cry in the theater.
Listen, those lights come up at the end of the theater. At the end of the film, they come back up. So,
and for some reason, my mascara is always running, and I don't know why, because I don't even wear mascara. So.
It did remind me that I did have other things in the notes that I always just kind of skip over. But the fact that you went internet reminded me that I did have these notes. Patrick Willems, I don't know if you've ever watched his YouTube videos. He's
I've heard of the Willemses.
Yeah. He has a video that he released this last week that was have we reached peak legacy cinema, where he talks about how we've got all these legacy sequels like the Star Wars and the Rockies and whatnot. And he's like, I think we've reached the peak. I think we're on the way back down, so that we're gonna maybe not have to deal with all these legacy sequels, because the legacy sequels are getting a little out of hand. I saw one for the Brothers McMullen the other day, and I was just like, who is the Brothers McMullen? Is a 90s indie film that was, I guess, hit big back in the 90s because it was that all there were indie films. It's like one of those Miramax films. But I'd never in my wildest imaginations thought there would be a sequel to the Brothers McMullen, or anybody would call out for that. The other thing I watched on TikTok.
One quick question. I haven't seen the video, but I'm guessing a big part of it is the problem that you really can go in and pitch confidently to the studios if it's not attached to like an IP.
Yeah, he said that's the biggest problem is that you get the producers almost always are like, well, we need something that is attached to an original IP kind of thing. And he talks about how what's Ivan Reitman's Jason Reitman for the longest time was like, I want nothing to do with Ghostbusters, and then he was having a hard time getting things made, and so then he's like, all right, fine, I'll do a Ghostbusters, and then after that he can get SNL made and all the other stuff, but he had to dip into the well of Ghostbusters in order for them to kind of let him do what he wanted to do.
Yeah, I think
So,
right now some of the exceptions is like Sinners, but I mean Ryan Coogler had already done his Marvel films. A
and even
Weapon.
then, he had to like fight to get Sinners made, and then there was a whole hubbub about how he did a contract where he gets it back after, and that caused a big ruckus or whatever.
Oh, paying me for
Yeah,
my work. What a fucking terrible idea.
yeah,
Those poor somebody think of the poor studio executives.
right.
That's what nobody ever thinks about. The poor studio executives. David Sosler's over there scrounging up coins to
I only
try to.
have 3 boats. What
Yeah.
am I doing?
If you have if you have one yacht, I'm not worried about you. I'm sorry. That's just, you know,
Yeah,
worst
yeah,
case.
yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. What else?
My other fun internet thing this week was on TikTok. There's a fellow named Mark Sebastian who does this series called Great. Well, right now he's doing the Great American Holiday Quest, where he's just a
Okay.
gay man that does a holiday. He goes.
I put it together. Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was in North Carolina. He went to the Biltmore Estate in North Carolina, and he went to some place called the Omni Grove Park Inn, both in North Carolina. Both treated him so disrespectfully, and it's fun watching the internet backlash on places because he was told like he's run around the social media thing. So he always calls ahead of time, and he's like, "Is it okay for me to?" He's like, "I'm not doing commercial photo, like no drones, no nothing like that. It's just me and my phone and like a little pocket recorder, and that's all he's doing." He always gets clearance ahead of time, and then while he's recording, people would come up to him from the establishment and be like, "Oh, you can't record here." And then he's like, "I have permission. I have emails that I can show you," and they just treat him like crap. And so then he goes on his TikTok and is just like, "Well, this is what happened," and then all hell breaks loose on these places because he's got like 2 million followers, and it's fun to go to their places like the Omni. They turned off all their comments. They haven't posted any kind of TikTok since these things have happened. The same for the Biltmore. They're turning off all their comments. They're trying to be like, "We're sorry, we didn't know." It's always fun to watch internet backlash happen, especially to people who deserve internet backlash. Down with bad companies. Down with bad service companies.
Yeah, that's.
But his TikToks are super entertaining. He's a really entertaining fellow, so I enjoy it.
Nice. I guess them upping the limit to 10 minutes. I don't know if that's still the case. I haven't been on in a while.
Oh, it's like over an hour now.
What?
Like you can do long form TikToks now.
Vertical long form? That's insane.
Yeah.
I could never. I guess you
very
can also
difficult.
turn it, right? They do the thing where you can turn it as well.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do a
horizontal
one, but he still does him as in just straight
That's
up.
insane. I could never watch an hour long vertical video. My mind would not compute.
Yeah.
So I personally had a limit of 3 minutes. So all right. Do you want to talk about the stuff we bought before we talk about the stuff we actually got?
You're talking before the new comics of this week.
Before the new comics, talk about the old comics we picked up. So for more context, there's a couple things going on this weekend here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. First of all, Jeff went to, is it Awesome Comics?
Awesome Comics.
Awesome Comics has their quarterly warehouse sale, I guess we'll call it, for, I don't know, lack of a better word. And tell us a little bit about that, Jeff, since that's the one you went to.
Yeah, Awesome Comics is one of our local comic shops. They have their brick and mortar comic shop in North Dallas, but they also have a satellite shop across town, also in North Dallas, just on the west side. But it's stuck in an office building, like the kind of old school office building
from the 80s, like an office
80s.
Building from the 80s.
Yeah, and it's brick and weird looking and everything. But upstairs they have just a couple of office spaces that they rented out, and they use it kind of as storage, basically. So they will set up tables and tables of comics that they have, dollar comics. Some of them are tables and tables of dollar comics and other stuff that they are just like, these are under $10, and they have a third table of like $10 and over. And you just go through them, just like there's I don't even know how many comics there they've got, and they've opened it up. So there's Danny and I went, I don't know, like 6 months ago to a couple of ones they had a couple of times ago. There's a whole back room that they've opened up for another, because they had another.
They had a room in the back that when we went, but there wasn't anything there yet.
Yeah, so they had stuff in that room this time. And I picked up a ton of stuff, more than I thought I was going to. I thought I was just going to flip through the dollar comics, but I went through all of them.
All right.
And I picked up.
Here, hold on. Let me put you on the big stage.
Let me get some of these other ones.
Here we go.
Nice.
So that way you can go through that stuff while I finish my cheese.
So this is the first.
Oh my.
This is just half the stack.
So you called to pick it only shows the highlights.
Yeah. So speaking of amalgam, here's my amalgam pick.
Who's is that? Elektra and what's her name? The Terminator's daughter.
I think so.
I forget her name.
Say?
Rose, maybe.
What's Cheshire? Not Cheshire. Cheshire, maybe.
Maybe one of them is Cheshire. Yeah, interesting.
This old Young Justice. I don't really see Young Justice as a lot. I really liked it. Liefeld, New Mutants. I really like this Firestar cover by Barry Windsor Smith.
I like that it has the little black Spider-Man, black suit Spider-Man box in the corner.
Oh yeah,
so that means it's direct market, right?
Yes, it's direct market. I picked up some Hulks. I think I'm gonna start collecting. So this is from the Jones run of the Hulk, where they started doing all these weird Hulk covers. These kind of pop,
like a cereal box. Covers.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of them that are like in a row that are like really quirky like this. I think I might even start collecting them.
Oh, I have that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I really like this John Byrne Hulk cover with some of the Avengers fighting the Hulk. We got some Cap covers. I really like this Al Milgrom Cap cover.
Ooh.
And here's Cap getting eaten by a bunch of rats. This is by Mike Zeck. Not these yet.
I like that you're building up to something.
Yes. A couple of planetaries to fill some planetary holes that I have.
Oh boy. Phrasing? Are we doing phrasing?
Yeah. Some Tom Strongs. We love a good Tom Strong. So just like as recommended by
James Gunn.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen these before. These are cables, but this is by artist Jose Ladron.
Okay, I had not seen those specific walls, but I've seen cable.
What I'm talking about. So Jose Ladron, I don't know. He kind of has this Kirby style.
Yeah. I feel like the first one has the most vibes. I think. Oh yeah, that one's.
Yeah, this is it.
Is that the Hellfire Goons?
Yeah, those are the Hellfire guys. And yeah, I really like his style. I have no idea what happened to him. Like he did a handful of these and then seemed to vanish.
It's like a fusion of Ed McGuinness and Jack Kirby. His style.
Yeah, it's very
like
much
real big, bulky guys, but all the weird angles from Kirby. Yeah.
It looks a little like Kirby. It looks a little like Kirby with just a hint of McFarlane or Lee Field or somebody like that.
With the 90s flair.
Ex Machinas.
Ooh, Ex Machina.
A couple of Batman Incorporated.
Batman Inc., baby. We all love a good Batman Inc.
We picked up some Gen 13s. But these are all the Gary Frank issues. We love Gary Frank.
We do love Gary Frank.
A ton of Starmans. So now I have Starman, individual issues of Starman number 1 through 27. I'm happy with that.
That's nice. That's a good haul.
And then some Justice League, some Avengers. But then I also stopped by Titan Comics because I was tired of not having the 4 issues of Grimm that I needed in order to complete my Grimm, all of Grimm. And I was lucky enough to find the 4 issues that I was missing.
Hell yeah, let's go before they
Before they're done.
skyrocket in price.
Exactly. My 1 issue of Abbott 1979 that I was missing. My 1 issue of Spider-Man with Great Power that I was missing. So I was able to like complete some stuff that I was missing with these, 1 or 2 purchases there.
Nice.
So that was my big day of comic book buying. All day
Jeff's
yesterday.
big day, we call it.
Yeah.
Very cool. So not like I would have gone with Jeff, but yesterday
You had your own adventure.
I had my own adventure. Some of you guys may have already seen it. I put a little vlog together yesterday, a little video. I ended up going to the NTX Arena in Louisville for their card show, but they had announced that John Romita Jr. was going to be there. So I was like, well, let me check it out. How comic booky is this thing? And it's a lot more comic booky than I thought. First of all, surprised that John Romita Jr. did not have a line at all. Like,
really?
I was just able to go in there and walk. I talked to him for like 5 minutes about his. So this is my favorite John Romita stuff, The Man Without Fear with Frank Miller.
Yeah.
And he's so humble. I was like, I love your book. I love your work here, what you guys did. And he's like, oh, that was all Frank. And I was like, well, yeah, but you drew it. So like, and then he gave a lot of credit to Al Williams, his inker on that book, which I think I've always said. And, I think we give contemporary Romita a lot of crap on the show. Well, his art, not the person himself, but a big part of it is his ink. Like the inker matters a lot. And he has inkers that he said Al Williams, like he said, oh, I just traced over your pencils, but like he knows Al Williams caught and fixed some of that stuff that he, just to try to get the book out. So I do have this print here, and it's signed by John Romita. And if you're watching this, you can still go see him today. He'll be there today as well. And then I bought my own things. I'll save this for the end because that's not from there. There's a lot of vendors there with boxes, just like dollar boxes, $2 boxes. So I just picked up a few things that I thought were fun, some things that I might do some videos with. I picked up this Nuclear Family #1. This is a comic from Aftershock by Stephanie Phillips and Tony Shasteen. I haven't read this in a while, but I figure Stephanie Phillips has a new Daredevil book coming out, so maybe doing some other videos about Rex. I picked up this blank cover of Something's Killing the Children, number 11, which I might do something on this myself just because it's so small. I wouldn't want to pay an artist to do a commission on this. There's such a little bit of space. And I was these are all either $1, $2, or $3. Like I didn't spend too much on any of this stuff. Thrawn Alliances. I just really like this cover of Anakin and Thrawn. But it's an adaptation of one of the books from Thrawn. This bounty hunter with Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
I picked up this Fall of X #2 with the Goblin Queen on the cover. This issue of Wonder Woman.
You see, because it's hot in hell, the Goblin Queen just doesn't need to wear that much because it's so hot in hell.
I just really like this cover as well. Like most of the stuff I picked up was just because they look cool. I did pick up this issue of the first issue of The Good Agent. I've read this already, but I figured it'd be nice to have a single, the first issue. And like I said, a lot of these were just like $1 or $2.
I need to read that.
Yeah, it's great. Pornsack piece of shit like does such a good job with this. I picked up my own New Mutants cover. I just thought this was cool. This is some of the more recent stuff with Magic. I love that
cover. That's a cool cover. Yeah,
it's great. It is a second printing, but yeah, it's really nice. And And then I picked this up because I know one of you guys collects these. I don't know who it is. I think you or Clay, one of the two. So I figured if you guys didn't have it, I would give this to you. If you do have it, I'll just keep it because I do like it.
It's a good. I bought that one the other day, and there's a great. It's Barry Windsor Smith does the art in the first little arc. It's so good, so good.
I picked up this Department of Truth #1 cover.
Oh, that's an awesome cover.
I figured this one's probably gonna also end up being made into something. So, and it's cool.
Yeah.
This is a Peach Momoko cover for a Vault comic. I don't remember the name because I bought the one without. There was one that had the title and this one doesn't. So, but it's Peach Momoko, so I was like, I'm not gonna not pick it up. And then I picked up this She Said Destroy number 3, I think. Just because Liana Congas did the art on this and I love their work. So, and then after I left the show, I stopped over because this was in Louisville. I stopped over at Boomerang to see our friend Jack in the shop and also record. If you look at the vlog, I recorded my haul there after I had left the show. They were pretty busy yesterday too. They had a lot going on, but some dude came in with his collection of stuff and sold them a bunch of things. So Jeff, you might want to shoot over there at some point. A lot of Spider-Man, and I ended up picking this up. Amazing Spider-Man 87.
Oh wow, holy crap!
Yeah, I think I got a pretty good deal on it too. Yeah, that was cool. Like the dude had a lot of modern stuff, but he also had a lot of older stuff from issue, like a lot of first appearances and stuff from Spider-Man. I haven't even looked at. I mean, I know what I paid for it, but I don't know. I don't know if this is like the first time that he's unmasked as in the comics. He's been unmasked a bunch of times, but I thought that was cool. And you have Gwen Stacy and Captain Stacy and his friends like in the cover. I don't know. I really found this cover really cool, and I was like, well, awesome. It's a pretty good deal overall. So yeah. If you want to know more about the NTX show, I have a video where I walk around and I talk a little bit about that. They had so much stuff. Like sports cars are insane, and I don't get it, but they also have one of these should have had they on top of sports cars, they also are selling now. Oh shit, where did I leave them? Oh, here. They're selling comic book stuff as well that are in. They make cards out of anything. I don't know if you knew, Jeff. They'll make a card out of anything. So the guy actually, because I bought so much stuff at his place, he gave me this.
Oh, that's fun.
A nice Wolverine. He was selling these for $1 at his table, anyways. And this Miles Morales. But they have more. Yeah.
I do. Well, I was gonna say I like the Marvel cards. I mean, I've got a binder full of old Marvel cards, like the old Marvel Masterwork stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I stopped at a table and the vendor who was selling, she was telling me like, yeah, these are pretty popular and they have a bunch of stuff that's graded, like it's in like graded like you would a Pokemon card. Yeah, it's really. I almost bought like an $80 card, but I was like, no, I can't. I've already spent too much. So.
Got this binder.
Hold on, Jeff. The microphone's not that good.
I got this binder.
Oh,
like all these. That's the back.
Where is the TikTok on that, Jeff? That's what I want to know.
Look, I mean, like.
Oh yeah, we bought the. We bought some at that. Where did we buy the cards? Was it at the Dallas show?
It might have been one of the Dallas shows. Yeah, I've got this. These are the Marvel Masterwork ones.
Yeah, because I bought some too.
And then I have for Christmas. Here's an old one that was in a Wizard.
Oh, hello.
That's
Holly J.
That's Jim Lee's Holly Days.
Hello, Jim Lee.
And then down here we've got Santa Todd.
Jim Lee, you all so and so.
So those are
Yeah.
my card.
Yeah, so and I think on the weekend the show is a lot more
Here's this Venom hologram.
I love that. I love holograms, stuff like that. On the weekend, the show, I think Saturday is more of a sports cards day. Sunday is more of a Pokemon trading cards, like other trading cards day, like Lurkana and stuff. So I'm not going back today, but if you're in the area, you should.
If they have all my children trading cards, that's what I would
Wow.
into.
That's
Also like these old Star Wars.
unexpected. I bet some of those could fetch a pretty penny.
I don't
Maybe.
know. I love quirky cards. Like,
Yeah.
I like I have these dinosaur ones.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Here's
Oh
one
yeah,
from
the
the movie
rookie,
Baby the
pterodactyl.
Lost.
I love that pterodactyl rookie card.
And then I have some. Hold on. I want to make sure some of these I can't show.
Oh, are
because-
they adult?
Yeah.
Don't get us
So
canceled, yeah.
we'll do it this way. Hold on.
No boy.
Let's do it this way. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh my
they're
goodness.
they're like these design cards for I don't even know. There's a Betty Page one. I forget what they're called. Olivia 2.
Wow.
But they are little nudie cards.
This show has everything. So I didn't see any of those at the show, but I'm sure somebody has some somewhere. But yeah, that's kind of what you get. So I don't know. I like it, but what I liked more is that they had a lot of the local artists that are normally at our shows, like Julian Shaw, Ariel Diaz, like they had their tables there, which I didn't even know. Like yeah. So it was like the mini con, and Mark from Big Fanboy had his own booth there with his own stuff that normally he brings to his Dallas comic show. So yeah, it was nice. I had a good time. You can check out the video for more. Like I walk around the whole thing, and they had food. They had a couple of food trucks, and there's a guy that he had a taco stand there called Ant's Tacos, and man, it smelled good going in there. So yeah, you can make a trip out of it. And there was even a tattoo booth where I guess if you really needed to get a tattoo on the go, you could do that.
It's always one of those things because I've seen the tattoo booths at like big Comic Cons too, and I'm just like, who goes to a con to get tattooed?
Yeah,
but some people do.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you're in the area, I like I said, I had a good time. It exceeded my expectations of what I would have thought that this show was going to be, just because when it came to comic books, at least I know for sports cards is like insane and crazy. So all right,
$10 at the door.
$10 at the door, $5 if you order early. There's like a VIP pass. I don't know exactly what that gets you. I was not going to be there long enough for it to be worth it. So yeah. So yeah, and I think they do this quarterly as well. So at the NTX Arena, they have events like that all the time. So I might start going there. It's also kind of neat to just watch, like just look at the stuff, even if you don't buy anything. Like you probably end up buying something, but like even if you don't buy anything, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So like a museum, really. All right, let's move on to comic books now.
Now we're done talking about comics. Let's talk about comics.
Now that we're done talking about comics, let's talk about comics. Before I go into this stuff, I do want to plug this week. I'm going to be in the I Read Comic Books podcast, which we're actually recording later today, and we're revisiting titles from the New 52. I picked Forever Evil. What an insane comic book. I don't know how much you remember about that, Jeff. Yeah, it was wild. So I can't wait to talk about it. But
This
did
that kick off, or did that end with the Dark Side War, or were they two separate things?
It planted the seeds for Dark Side War. It came on the heels of Trinity War.
Okay, Trinity War,
where the Justice League of America, the Justice League Dark, and the Justice League were kind of fighting. for the Trinity.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was an insane time, Jeff. So yeah, stay tuned for that, or go join the Discord for I Read Comic Books, and you can actually listen to us record live later today. Did you read anything outside of the comic books for the week?
Sort of, but I'm gonna hold on to it as my pick of the week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it was a pretty slow week for me, so I'll let you go first, and then we'll kind of go back and forth.
I picked up about 12 comics this week, and I've had a lot of time off this week, which would make one think that I've read everything, but it just means that I've been busy doing stuff to fill that, like going to my storage unit and whatnot. So
what
I've
a concept that if we have free time, we're actually gonna fill it doing stuff that we've been meaning to do.
Yeah,
where's
exactly.
that 4-day work week?
So not much has been read so far this week, but we'll start off with this Action Comics number 1093. This Mark Waid has been giving stories about young Clark Kent back when he was a boy in Smallville, being Superboy, and he has to make some tough Superboy decisions because sometimes life isn't fair and you just have to still play by the rules. That's kind of what this issue is about, but it's all a lead up to the next issue where the United States government is going to ask Superboy to intervene on their behalf. And so how is he going to play that? So it's really interesting because it's Mark Waid. Mark Waid rarely writes a bad thing. So it's great. As far as really good, nice. Solid issue.
I picked up, and I'm still reading, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 13. This is the beginning of the Jin Yu Yang, Freddie Williams run. Is your copy not at hand? Is it somewhere over?
I found it. It is.
Yeah. This was great. I have a full review for it on the channel, but I really, really enjoyed it. I like what they're doing. And as a surprise, I don't know if you saw these or picked up any of these. I picked up 2 of the blind bags. I picked up 2 of the blind bags, but if you want to see what's in here, you're going to have to tune into a different video. I'm sorry to do this to you, but IDW sent me issue number 14 of TMNT to read in advance, and I really like it. So I'm going to talk about it, but if you want to, and I'm going to take the time to also, I figured to entice people to watch that video, I'm going to open these over there. So
smart.
Yeah, sometimes every once in a while I gotta have a good idea. So yeah, if you want to know more, and it'll be a non-spoiler thing because I don't want to spoil anything about this issue. Just know that the conflict that's going on, the villain or the new character that's being introduced, the Ujigami as it's called, it's very interesting, and as a reader they bring you into the fold very quickly, right, as far as like what the mystery is and all that, which I think it's even more nerve-wracking because you know something that the rest of the turtles and the rest of the world doesn't know. So it's like it feels a little naughty, like your little secret.
Naughty.
So
I read Wonder Woman versus Lobo, the DCKO tie-in.
Yes.
This was okay. It was, as far as many artists they had on it, I feel like I would have noticed the art change a little bit more, but I feel like it was kind of inconsequential.
There's some neat stuff like when they rewind here and like turns into like 8-bit. Bringing Lobo from the new 52 Lobo back for one of the rounds was really funny.
Yeah.
Because
it's okay.
People hated that Lobo, so I just thought the fact that they
make fun of it,
they kind of brought it back. Like, yeah, I thought it was fun. So, but yeah, you're right. I wouldn't say that any of these DCKO matchups are like must reads. But I do recommend you reading them if you have the extra time or whatever.
Yeah.
Another big comic this week.
I was excited that Joelle Jones wrote it. So
Oh yeah, me too. I like her stuff a lot. Big comic this week, Ultimate Spider-Man number 23, the penultimate issue of this. Boy, oh boy, this is just good. I can't wait. I don't want this book to be over. I'm very upset. I love the we pretty much get to see everyone in here. They even have both artists, David Messina and
Chichero?
Marco Cicero. Yeah, but it's the big Kingpin versus Kingpin and Spidey are finally gonna get it on. A rematch
Nice.
from their first encounter earlier on where Spider-Man didn't really know what the hell he was doing. So that should be fun.
It's a good one. Transformers number 27. Just still kicking along solidly. I do think G.I. Joe right now is pulled ahead as my favorite Energon book.
Well, that's
A
because it's
little
double
bit.
shipping. That's not fair.
But that's probably because it's double shipping and it's getting more story out. I like that Colonel Flag in this is kind of like, is he a good guy? He's a good guy, but he's definitely military good guy. So
Yeah.
but I like his character. I like what they're doing with him.
I like Bulkhead. He brings a vibe.
New kid on the block.
Yeah. And it's Dan Mora just does it so well.
Yeah.
Like this shot, this whole conversation is very reminiscent to like, I think they even put a deer in one of the panels to like kind of call back to when
they mentioned that in the letters page, because I rarely glance at the letters page, but this one I just happened to, and they talk about the deer.
And then also like this guy's takes him down. It's so cool. I think that's what Robert Kirkman's really good at, giving you like these really fun, cool moments.
Definitely.
We don't get to see a lot of what's going on in Cybertron in this one. It's more like, let's get everyone repaired. Let's give people new decals. Yeah, I like it.
I do kind of wish I could remember more of the Transformers lore kind of stuff, because I think it would be fun if, like, I know that the Autobots have like their aerial bots, which are like the planes, which is at the time when I was a kid, I was like, oh, the good guys are getting planes for the first time. Yeah. So if they were to change, I think it was Thundercracker that has switched from Decepticon to Autobot. Yep. If he could change his name to one of the aerial bots, I thought that would have been cool. Or something like that. I don't know.
Because now it's him and Jetfire, and I think some of the new ones that they just woke up or whatever.
Yeah.
I also I don't appreciate how they're kind of just leading us along still with like, oh yeah, Bumblebee. Don't get your hopes up about Bumblebee.
He's dead.
He's dead. We got to take him to like the main spark or whatever they call it, the fountain of the spark or whatever they call it.
If you want Bumblebee, you got to watch that. What's that car insurance commercial with Shaquille O'Neal and Bumblebee and the general doing the thing? Yeah. That's the most wacko bonkers. That's really all I'm down to my pick of the week in the books that I haven't read.
Me too, because I haven't read a lot. Because let's go over the books that we haven't read yet, because I do have a bunch. I bought a lot of books this week, and then we'll talk about our picks of the week. So you want to go first?
Yeah.
Or maybe I can go first while you finish.
Sorry about that. The Ordained #1. Did you pick this up?
I did not, because I felt like I got burnt by a bad idea.
Oh yeah.
Just because this it's hard. Like, cool. They had some issues with shipping and getting stuff out in time. It was so hard to collect, and I just gave up.
Yeah. So this is about a preacher here who hears a mob boss's last confessional. The mob boss spills his guts, tells the preacher, I've done bad things. I'm a mob boss. These are all the people I've killed, etc., etc. And then the mob boss thinks he's gonna go off and die, but miraculous miracles happen, and he ends up the mob boss ends up like complete recovery from whatever ailment he has. The problem is now that he's told this preacher where the skeletons are all buried. So he sends his troops to go kill the preacher because you can't have that. Well, the preacher's basically John Wick or, something like that. So he's like, oh, I got to pass too. So it kind of sounds like a big, he's a preacher that has to defend himself and like kick some butt. Concept sounds amazing. So we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
Excited for it. Keep going, or are we split?
Yeah. Just go through all the stuff that you haven't read.
Aquaman, Hawkman versus Hawkman, another DCKO tie-in. Blonde on Blonde Hate, the newest Assorted Crisis events. This has made it to the bottom of my pile because I don't know how I feel about feeling right now.
I don't know how I feel about feeling.
Yeah.
I got
Nova
feelings about
Centurion. The second issue, I really like the first issue. We'll see how if it keeps me going.
Yeah, keep us updated on that one.
Our Suit Stained Heart. I really am intrigued by the art on this. I flipped through it and enjoyed what I read. I just haven't had a chance to finish it yet.
Yeah, there's some real goofy characters in this.
And then the latest issue of Batman and Robin, wrapping it up with Philip Kennedy Johnson before he jumps ship over to Marvel. That's what I got yet to read.
Nice. Well, on my to be read pile, we have Ultimate Wolverine, which I'm behind on. I think this one's also like the penultimate or so. I think it's gonna end at 14, which is a weird number to end on. This time around, it was a space Spidey story, so I did pick it up. So I'll be getting to read that.
Is that a new character on the cover with Spider-Man?
She's been traveling. Yeah, she's along with the ship. She's kind of like the new love interest.
Okay.
Because I guess his suit is yellow, so he finds a yellow alien. I don't know. Legacy of Vader, number 11. I'm reading these as the stories wrap up, so I'm excited for this one. And then I picked up a reprint of what is this? Fantastic Four number 12, where
cool.
they get to see the Hulk. And I picked up, which I shouldn't have, but I did because this is a story that I love, the Fantastic Four, This Man, This Monster 3D.
Oh, that's awesome.
With 3D glasses. I like it, but these are $10 each, and I try not to get too many of these 3D ones. Because they are a scam. But I do love this story, and I love Jack Kirby's art, so I figure, what the heck. And then I picked up a few collections that I had pre-ordered. Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, The Bad Batch.
Nice.
The new one's coming out pretty soon, so it's a good one to kind of reread. And then the first volume of Absolute Green Lantern, which we have a video on the channel for. And the first volume of Absolute Martian Manhunter, which I also have a video on the channel for. But yeah, this once the Flash comes out, I'll have all the first volumes of whatever's out right now. So far, and that's it.
Those are still shrunk wrapped.
They are. Yeah, these are. I'm not opening. I've already read them. I'm not opening those. Those are just to keep on my shelf so I can flex.
I'd be curious to see what the Martian Man, like if the page thing works the same.
Damn it! I'm gonna have to open it. I need to get a shrink wrapping machine so I can do that. Okay. What is your pick of the week, Jeff?
My pick of the week is actually from I think 2 weeks ago, maybe, but I finally got around to reading it. This is Arcadia, Gabriel Hardman, Batman, Green Lantern, Question. This is a Black Label book, brand new. The thing I enjoy about this book is that it clearly takes place in the early kind of DC lore because not everybody is super friendly with everybody.
Yeah.
Green Arrow is kind of this cult hero from Star City, where he's drinking with his, but like everybody knows him as Oliver Queen and Green Arrow, and he's worked with Batman before, but it's not like they know each other, kind of sort of like you kind of do. And you throw a Question into the mix, and everybody's just like, oh, this guy. It's kind of reminiscent of the Justice League United animated series. Whenever the Question showed up, and people were like, this guy again. Because he's annoying. Everybody thinks he's annoying. I really enjoy it because it's that time frame. It reminds me of like 80s Marvel characters where it seemed like all the superhero community were like, they were kind of co-workers in a big office structure. So you kind of know what that guy does, but you're not really friends with them. You just know you're on the same, corporate side of things. It's kind of how it feels like all these superheroes interact with one another. Yeah. Whereas now, like they all feel like friends and everybody kind of gets along. Like if you're reading current DC, but I like that I don't. When you're talking about New 52, I didn't like how they wiped the slate clean, so nobody knew each other, and everybody was just kind of like angry with everybody.
Yeah.
But I like this time frame where they're starting to get to know each other. They're knowing each other's quirks and stuff like that, but they're still not. Nobody's like friends yet, so it's a fun time to kind of revisit. I think.
Yep. Agreed.
And
I love that story. It's really cool. I think Gabriel Hardman is doing some amazing stuff. And just like it all really works coming out with these three different ideologies at the
Mhm.
at this, because they all kind of have a very different take. And Batman is very interesting take on Batman on this one. I think like
This is the most capitalist Batman we've seen in a long time.
yeah. I think they all have very different ideas of what justice is. And I love that the question just kind of throws himself into the bottom, like the pit of like he's gonna take the beast down from within in the most violent way,
Yeah,
but it doesn't go well for him. So yeah, it's
I
pretty
also like
clear.
hey he's and I know I haven't read a ton of Question. I don't know much about Vic Sage, but I do like he guilt trips Ollie into into like taking on the case, and he's like, "Well, I
Yep.
thought you were the one that cared about this stuff." And I like Ollie's characterization where he's just kind of like an everyday kind of Joe.
Mhm.
But I do think that they're going to play because they do mention that he was from Queen Industries. He got kicked out, like he has nothing to do with it. But he's still kind of this rich boy because he still gets a stipend from the company. And I think they parallel that against Bruce Wayne, who goes around and like he basically beats up these Greenpeace kids, and but then he lets them go. But Alfred is like, "Why'd you let them go? They were breaking the law." And there's this kind of weird like, well, poor people don't deserve whatever or whatever. It's a very interesting story. I like
Reminds
it.
me of that skit on SNL where they're like, where Bruce Wayne brings people to give them stuff for Christmas, and they all have complaints about Batman. Yeah, he broke my cousin's leg or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's great. I'm gonna wait for the collection to be done with that one because I feel like it's a black label book and it's gonna look real cool whenever they put it all
Yeah.
together. So,
Mhm.
but it's great. It's a great number one. I think it's only 3 or 4 issues. So
Yeah, it feels like that.
cool. Well, for my pick of the week, it's probably something that is once again to surprise to no one. I am the most basic comic book reader there is. It's Absolute Batman number 15. I mean, could it be anything else? Now, before I know, Jeff, you have thoughts on this, but I want to show you because I pre-ordered more than so. I actually pre-ordered
Oh,
before the FOC, so we have more than one cover. Who is this? This is the Ben Oliver cover. This is
Absolute Venom.
the what's his name? Brian Bolin Jacques cover. Then the actual Jacques cover, probably my favorite one of the bunch, if I had to pick. And then the Sanford Green variant for this. I do want the Clayman has his own at his like Whatnot shop, and I don't really like to dig into Whatnot, but I might have to because that one's really cool. But I really like this issue. Now you mentioned that you had an issue with this, so let's talk about
Issue.
that, and then I'll try to
A
figure out.
I would just say narratively, the story bothered me. It was Alfred. I'm both on Alfred's side and Batman's side because the whole thing is telling the origin story of the Joker, and Alfred is going over it in third person narrative to Bruce, and it's all just dialogue boxes.
Yep.
And so it'll be a page and a half of Alfred doing setup, and then a different colored box where Bruce is like, "Get to the freaking point."
Yeah.
And it's just like every other page is Batman interrupting, going like, "What's the point, Pennyworth? What's the point?" And I'm both with Batman being like, "Yeah, get to the point, Pennyworth," and also, "Shut up, Batman! Like, let the man tell his story. Like, quit interrupting." And it took me out of reading the story. Every time he was like, "Pennyworth, get to the deal," I'm like, "Why are you being so rude? Stop being rude, Batman." And also, Alfred, get to the point. Stop getting colorful. Just like tell the story. Like, do it. Overall, good issue. But I was just like, Scott, why are you using this literary technique? It's so annoying.
I love the idea that I mean it is weird to tell a story like that, but I feel like he had to give it the context of like what people know about him versus what he really thinks about him and what seems to be the truth. And it is insane. Like I started putting the pieces together whenever he started, because they talk about like Jack Grimm the first and Junior and third, and I'm like, and I love the idea that it's always been about entertainment. That's also like pretty telling about society, right? And like a vaudeville clown, and then like a TV show, and then video games and stuff. And
it was when we went from movies to TV. Yeah, I started getting I was like, oh, this is the same, whatever. When we went from movies to TV to internet, like within 3 generations, I was like, that's too fast. That's something's weird there.
It was giving like was it Kango the Eternal?
Yeah.
Same thing. But then on the other side of the stories, you have like this most dangerous game going on. Right? And I did think, I don't know why I thought, like, if you want Absolute Joker to be portrayed as this like super badass, maybe have him fight a bigger cat. I don't know.
Yeah,
it feels
just find a little house cat.
I know it's like a wild animal, but it feels like it's still a very small cat. So
Jacques has its limits. Jacques can't do big cats. He can only do medium-sized cats.
You know, you get like the body horror, and then you get the big reveal. And here's the big spoiler. So if you haven't read it, like, we got to this page, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah, let's go!" Like, I don't know what Batman's gonna do against this thing. Like, it's a fucking nightmare.
I do wonder if DC at some point where they're like, does he need to have? Is it weird that in today's modern context that he has a bunch of private islands that he goes to, that he just kind of hangs out at? He's a billionaire that hangs out in private islands.
They did mention that they are uninhabited and they're not livable. If that makes anyone feel any better, I guess. I don't know.
But then they show them being habited by
one. He just drops one person off at each one, right? Which is a fucking nightmare too.
Yeah.
So I would die like within a week. However long it takes you to die of dehydration, I would die if somebody just dropped me off in an island. So, all right. Before we wrap up and get out of here, let's take a look at the week ahead, and then we will get out of here. We've already gone pretty long. Don't worry, Jeff. I got you covered. All right. This is Jeff's pull list from League of Comics. If you're not following us on League of Comics, I don't know what you're waiting for. You have Absolute Flash number 10, The Amazing Spider-Man Torn number 3, The Avengers 33.
Good.
And feel free to stop me at any point if you want to expand on anything. World's Finest number 46, the longest going comic book ever. Harley Quinn Satana number 1, the fight. Are you reading everything Dead and Dying? Are you reading it as you get it?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And I'm loving it.
Great. I need to catch up on that, but I think I'll just do that maybe when it hits the 5th issue. Exquisite Corpses number 8. G.I. Joe number 16. This is the Dreadnought War part 4, I think. I think there's 2 more. Yeah, it'll finish off with the issue that comes out during the Christmas week. Harley Quinn and Elvira. A lot of Harley on your list for next week. Planet She-Hulk.
We love Harley.
We do love Harley. The Sacrificers number 18. That's the Rick Remender, Max Fujiwara book, I think. The last issue of the Kryptonite Spectrum. And Wonder Woman 28.
So good.
I can't wait. I actually haven't read it. Normally, by this time, I've already read DC stuff to make videos for next week, but I because I was reading Forever Evil during SmackDown, I didn't get a chance. Normally, that's when I read my books. I'll have SmackDown on in the background, and I'll be reading books. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. For me,
What you got?
we have a lot of the similar issues. Flash, of course. The last issue of Maria Levette's Artificial. This one I have read.
Okay.
It's great. I love her stuff. It's crazy. Like, she continues to do these little stories that I'm just like, yep. They have action. They have a little bit of sex appeal. They got everything.
She knows what you want.
World's Finest. Batman and Robin Year One collection comes out next week, so I'll probably pick that up.
Is it all 12 issues?
Singles. I think it's the first part only. I think it's 1 through 6.
Okay.
No, 1 through 12, all of it. Or the
awesome.
first. Yeah, it's all of it. So, that means it's $40. Yikes. Okay, we'll see what happens next week. Black Panther Intergalactic. I think this is the last issue of those spin-offs from the Imperial War.
Oh wow.
Harley Quinn, Die Loaded #2, Endeavor from Distillery, and then a bunch of things that Jeff's also picking up. Everything Dead and Dying, Exquisite Corpses, and G.I. Joe. The Moon is Following Us, Volume 2. So I'll finally be able to finish that because I've only read the first volume.
Super funny comic. The most fun you'll have. Like laugh riots.
Thanksgiving.
Like all of Daniel Warren Johnson. It's a Thanksgiving. Make you feel good for Thanksgiving.
Also, Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu #15. Kenny Porter has a new comic from Mad Cave called The New Space Age, and I like Kenny Porter. He did that Superboy Man of Tomorrow miniseries that won the round robin contest. I'm still on my Nightwing bullshit because it's really good. Planet She-Hulk. That's a big week for me. I didn't realize how big of a week it was. Yeah, Power Fantasy, Rebel Moon, the last issue of Gail Simone and Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, a Nemesis comic. The collection for Red Before Black comes out. This is a Stephanie Phillips comic. I've already read it, and I put it on here just to remember because I'll probably just re-release my video. That was the main thing I put it on here for. Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac #4. This book has been on an indefinite hiatus, and I'm glad it's finally coming back. Starship Godzilla, Kryptonite Spectrum, Supernatural, Wonder Woman, and then I am gonna recommend you this one. Wrestle Heist is the Kyle Starks comic book about wrestling.
Oh,
okay. I'll put it on the box folder if you want to read it ahead of time because Kyle sent it over and then Image also sent it over. It's really fun. Like the premise of this is like the way Kyle Starks put it is like, what if after the Montreal Screwjob, Bret Hart was injured and couldn't wrestle anymore, and to get back at Vince, he decided to rob WrestleMania.
Okay, cool.
So,
I'm in. I love it. I love a good heist.
I love a good heist. Yeah, the first issue. This one I have read. The first issue is really fun, so I'll be putting out a video about that as well.
What if it ends with the Bret Hart character robbing the Vince character while Vince is premiering his new wrestler, Spider-Man?
Oh, what do you call it? Spider-Man?
Yeah, and Vince is like, "Stop that guy!" And Spider-Man's like, "You should have paid me more money." And then the Bret Hart
just lets him go.
And he just lets him go. And then Bret Hart goes on to kill Uncle Ben.
I got you for 3 minutes. I love that.
Bone saw.
Shout out, RIP to the Macho Man. Maybe the best. Cool maybe the best. Maybe the best character in a comic book film ever. Bone saw. Like pound for pound, minute for minute on screen time, it might be the coolest character in a comic book film ever. So, all right. I think we've done it, Jeff. We did it a little longer than normal just because we had a lot of stuff a little extra stuff to talk about. Who would have thought that if we go out into the real world, then we'll have things stories to tell the kids in the fake world here. A couple of reminders. Make sure to fill out our survey for the end of the year. We've gotten a bunch of responses. So stay tuned for that. We'll be going over our best comics, our best movies, and all that stuff for 2025 as we wrap up.
I don't know if you
Also,
saw my
yeah.
my Instagram video about the survey that I posted.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that yet. Okay, I'll go check it out. Thank you.
It should be tagged on my the comic book Instagram, not my other one.
Oh, gotcha. Perfect. Also, go check out our creator interviews that we've had over the past few weeks, including the latest one with Marvel Zombie writers Ethan Parker and Griffin Sheridan. Very cool stuff. We went over a lot of their work, and then of course I talked to Kyle Starks recently, Tinny Howard. Yeah, it's been a good few months, and I just keep sending out emails. So,
keep going.
So let us know who you want to see us talk to on the show.
So let's talk to Jim Lee. Like, Jim, we're from Dallas. One of us even went to SMU.
That's right.
That's our in. If you just say that I went to SMU, just
pony up, Jim.
Pony up, Jim. We have an SMU alumnus as part of our podcast.
There you go.
You want to talk SMU?
That'll do it. So by that logic, I need to find somebody that went to Baylor if we want to talk to Rob Liefeld, because I think that's where one of his kids is going.
You're what's the St. Dennis Medical?
Yep.
The main girl, what's her name? The actress that
Alex?
is.
I don't know the main.
She went
nurse
to Baylor.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
she was a local actor here, and she went to Baylor. There was a whole bunch of Baylor actors after they graduated, moved up here to Dallas, and they became big in the little theater scene here. And then some of them went on to be on TV. But
Nice.
she's a Baylor alum, so you could that's your in with her.
You're talking about the main nurse?
Yeah, I can't remember. I used to talk to her when she was here. I can't remember her name right now.
I don't know why we haven't had her on the show, Jeff.
I'll tell you what. I used to be the Cheaty from
The Good Place.
The Good Place. Yeah, Will Harper, and I have a phone number for Will Harper in my phone. I don't know if it's still his phone number, but
tell him that I love. If you do talk to him and send him a text, tell him that I love him in the morning show.
I will. I don't even know who's on the morning show.
Yeah. I don't know who all is watching that show. It may just be me and Billy Crup's family.
Yeah, he's great. He's a great guy. Will's funny.
Nice. He really is funny. Yeah. Okay, I think that'll do it for today. So let us know in the comments what was your favorite comic book of the week. As I mentioned, follow us on League of Comics if you want to see what we're picking up before we get to the show. My poll list is pretty updated. I've done a pretty good job at updating. I need to send Titan my updated pull list, but I do have an updated pull list now where at least 3 months out.
I hadn't been to Titan in forever. I didn't realize Jeremy had lost all that weight. He
looks great. He's healthier. Great. I'm sure it was at a certain point when you get to a certain age, if you're losing weight, it's probably because of health reasons. Speaking from personal experience. So great. He looks great. So go check out Titan. They have their big holiday sale going on. I think it's 15% on a lot of stuff, 20% on graphic novels and stuff like that. Funko Pops, collected. They have so many. They probably have the coolest statues in the area.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
I saw a post on. I don't get on Facebook a lot, but I went on Facebook to look for something, and I saw that he had a whole case of war comics, or old war comics, graded and not graded, and he sold out. He sold the whole thing to one person.
People love war.
Yeah. I mean, something to distract us from real life, I guess. Exactly. Titan has. I would say Titan probably has maybe the best backlog of comics as far as organized back issues, because a lot of stores have Awesome Comics has their thing where you can dig through the boxes, but like you said, you were able to find your Grimms and stuff like that pretty easily. I would think
filing cabinets, literal filing cabinets.
Yep. So all right, there you have it. We did it. Let's get out of here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.
The most important thing in life will always be
Hail Bebo.
Pluto loves you.
Simon Center, get the fuck out.
All right, bye.
Get out of here, you weirdo.